Woo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Season 4, Episode 25 of the Monday Night Wars. I'm Chad Talks, and joining me, as always, is Jmack Gaming.
Chad doesn't know the count. It's the 28th episode of Season 4.
I had 50-50.
No, you didn't, because you said the 26th right before that.
True. This was one of the three.
It's crazy that I showed him.
Yeah, I literally just showed it. I just looked at it, and immediately left my brain. So, but we're here. And we're covering some Monday Night Raw.
Ronnie says he hates me because I just said gambling is easy. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. We are hot off the heels of Battleground, where we saw some wild shit. We saw, Masada. Well, we're not going to talk about SmackDown stuff. We're going to talk about Raw shit only. We saw Triple H defeat Sean Morley, Chad, to retain his IC belt, and we crowned an interim WWE World Heavyweight Champion while Alex Wright is gone. We don't know how long he's gone for, but for the time being, Chad, Kurt Angle is your. What do you mean? Ooh,
ooh, as in ooh. I like that. I'm happy.
The way you said it's like you just heard that for the first
time.
No,
I'm just remembering. I like that.
Kurt Angle.
I love that he gets his due. It's about time.
Finally gets his job done. 5 years in the save, winning the belt over Brock Lesnar and Chris Jericho.
Just shows how hard it's hard to win a championship.
Not in WCW.
That's not true. We've had a good run lately of.
We'll start with the pre-show with Paul London defeating former European champion Lenny Lane in 1013 with a London calling. Chad, when will Paul London get his shot for the WWE World Championship?
Yeah, the people are asking. I'd have to say probably 5 years, just like Kurt Angle. I think it's going to take him 5 years.
You think Paul London...
This is the next generation's Kurt Angle, Justin.
Lenny Lane?
No, Paul London.
Paul London is much worse than Kurt Angle, I would say. Justin Winston also losing to Devon Storm here in the pre-show.
Damn.
What are your thoughts on Devon Storm?
Hey, he's James Storm's cousin, and he's all right by me.
Who is James Storm?
James Storm? He's a wrestler.
In 2002?
Yeah, he's in the save. I'm pretty sure you have him employed.
Back, we go down in our final pre-show match. We got two guys we saw a couple weeks ago being brought up. They're here again, getting some experience here on the main show. Johnny Curtis and Chris Devine. They don't work well as a team. Good to know. Let me write that down.
Good to know.
I didn't write anything down. They lose to Kings of the Mountain members Jimmy Jacobs and Frankie Kazarian. That's the start of Monday Night Raw. We get into it, and usually you would see the world champion or someone who was in the main event at the last pay-per-view in the opening promo for Monday Night Raw the day after. But no, it's that dastardly group known as the Black McMahon Dynasty. It's PJ Black, Shane and Stephanie. They come down in the ring, Chad, and they said they've counted the votes. Remember, they're on voter fraud. They're on conspiracy 101 over here, right?
Right.
And they said there's something fishy, something's going on. And they said there's a voter fraud going along, Chad. There's been some backstage politicking.
Ooh, okay.
And PJ Black and says, because I'm technically married to the boss's daughter, I'm part of this company in a way. And I'm not going to have any backstage politicking. I'm not going to have any, under the table hand jobs. And none of that back here in the WWE. So I'm going to have to do something I don't want to do. No one wants to see done. We're going to have to take matters into our own hands. And we're going to have to deal with this voter fraud. Well, no one knows what this voter fraud means, Chad. There's no vote.
What does that mean?
No one knows. But they said, Kurt Angle. We saw the tapes. We know you were politicking your way into a WWE World title. Kurt Angle, come to the stage. Come to the stand. And Kurt Angle comes out, and he has no idea what the fuck's going on. No one knows what the hell these three maniacal hooligans are talking about. And PJ Black is like, Kurt, as part owner of this company, I have to do what I have to do. I'm going to submit this to the board of directors, and if it goes through, we're going to have to strip you of the WWE Intern World Heavyweight Championship. And Kurt Angle is bewildered.
He's bewildered. Bum puzzled is Kurt
Angle says, I'm a good American Christian Olympian. I would never
gold medalist.
I would never cheat on anything. I don't cheat on my diet. I don't cheat on my wife. I wouldn't cheat to get to this world championship. I didn't cheat in the Olympics with a broken freaking neck. I'm a gold medalist, damn it.
And I've never cheated these fans. I haven't done anything.
So I don't know what the hell you three are talking about voter fraud. I didn't vote. No one voted. It's true. It's damn true.
I never vote.
And he's like, PJ Black, I want to kick your ass now. Okay? I thought you guys were just owners, whatever, but now you've made this personal. You said I've cheated. You said I've backstage poly. You're going to strip me of this title that I've worked 5 years for? Because you guys are making shit up? Because you want the title, PJ Black? You want the belt, Shane McMahon? Hell, if you guys could, you put the freaking world title on Stephanie. Sorry, pardon my language. Kurt Angle.
He's got revved up. He's passionate.
And you know what? PJ Black says, you know what? Fine. What is this deed? This bill won't be approved or denied until next week anyway. So how about instead of you just, you want to do it the easy way, where I beat you for the title next week, or we can do it the hard way, where I beat you for the title, and then even if you win, we strip you of the belt anyway. Ooh. And Kurt Angle's like, come on, bitch. Let's go. Let's do it right now. And PJ Black's like, no. We'll do it next week. These fine people in Arizona can rot in hell for all I care.
Fuck them.
So Kurt Angle, PJ Black next week. What the fuck's going on? These guys remind me of far right.
Oh.
We move on, Chad. We got Battle Royal here, Chad. Don't look.
Okay.
Don't look.
I'm not looking.
It's a #1 contender match for the European Championship. Mm-hmm. And usually you'd be like, why is Fig not getting the #1 contender? Fig got hurt.
Oh, no.
Fig stubbed his toe.
Okay.
And has a hangnail.
Oh, no.
After the match with you last night at Battleground, where you beat him for the belt.
Damn right I did.
So he will not be fighting for the rematch, because he is technically hurt.
Probably for the best, to be honest.
So we got a Battle Royal here. Don't look at it.
I'm not looking.
For the #1 contendership, and Horace Hogan wins it.
Oh, Horace Hogan. Wow.
Horace Hogan in the Final Four was Scott Studd, Teddy Hart, and Sean Daivari. With Sean Daivari being the final elimination. Sean Daivari almost getting himself back into it, but he just couldn't get it done. As Horace Hogan wins a shot at Chad Collier. Are you excited or scared for
When I found out that I was wrestling Hogan, I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't scared at all, but I was significantly less scared when I found out.
The contract did say Hogan,
but not Hulk.
Horace. No, Brutus Beefcake. We move on, Chad. Kevin Kelly.
Ooh.
Is backstage with our Intercontinental Champion. I spelled Morley wrong right here. Don't look at this, even though I just pointed it out. Kevin Kelly asked Triple H, you had a 2-month rivalry with Sean Morley, but it all came to heads last night at Battleground, and Triple H, you proved why you're one of the most dominant champions in all of professional wrestling when you beat Sean Morley once again. Triple H, what's next? And he's like, I don't want to talk about Sean Morley. Kevin, that chapter is done. Let's just move on to it. Tonight, I have a match against a champion of this business, of this company. I'm taking on a tag team champion, and his name is Bryan Danielson, and that's the only thing on my mind right now, Kevin Kelly. Do not ask me about that punk loser, Sean Morley. Why he even was in the ring with a specimen like myself is beyond me and is beyond the management of this company. Stephanie should stop worrying about blowing PJ Black and booking better matches, Kevin. Write that. Put that in the headlines.
Bazinga.
We move on. JBL makes his way down the... I like this new universe where Triple H isn't dating Stephanie. Yeah. It's PJ Black. It's Justin Gabriel.
He just slides into the old Chris Jericho spot where he's just constantly making fun of Stephanie.
There's a disgusting, filthy animal out there, and then there's Rhino in the ring.
And then there's Rhino.
JBL makes his way down to the ring, Chad. He beat Keisha at Battleground.
That's right, I'm the cool guy, JBL.
The wrestling god.
The wrestling god.
And he beats Steve Wright in 910.
Wow.
This might be his retirement match.
I wanted to go out against my son.
But no, I'm getting dragged to the ring.
But now I'm
wrestling guy.
You power bombed me, and I coughed up my ribs.
JBL got a 73.
Nice, good for JBL.
Oh man, well, JBL said there's no one in the back that steps up to the wrestling god, but the big game hunter, Ace Steel, comes out and blindsides him, Chad.
Ooh.
I don't remember. What was Ace Steel's weapon of choice? Do you remember?
Didn't he use like an ice pick or something?
No.
Or like a spike?
That might be a steel spike.
Steel spike, yeah.
That's his finisher. That is his finisher. Yeah. The ice pick? What is he, a 19...
Does he use an ice pick?
Is he a fucking Eskimo? Is that a...
I don't know if you can say that.
Yeah, I know. I haven't...
We'll edit that.
Is it... I don't fucking...
I don't know. Martin and Burton. Martini. Who are these guys?
That's Gabriel Burton and Dylan Martin, Chad.
Oh.
These guys have been on TV for like a month now.
Did you just give them pictures?
Yes.
They were just the black, blank.
The generic pictures. Yeah, they were just a blank picture. So I
Yeah.
gave them generic pictures.
Nice.
Give them some pizzazz.
Yeah,
give them some
I like
life.
that. Put a face with that.
That's Gabriel Burton, and this is Dylan Martin, and this is Gabriel Burton.
Nice.
I think. Don't remember which one's which. Yeah, but they got a big win over the Quebecers, and Kevin Kelly comes out and he asks him. I tried to give him mic time. I wanted to see how good they would do, and this did not do well. But they asked Kevin Kelly's like, "Hey guys, that was your first ever TV Raw win. How do you guys feel?" And they don't know how to talk on the microphone, and they just, yeah,
we did it.
They hug and they're celebrating. Two kids from TNA, they've been down in TNA since the beginning. And now they're getting main TV time,
Love that.
We love to see it.
Love to see it.
Speaking of main TV time, we go to a highlight package recapping what... I don't know why my angle title didn't save. Recapping what happened at Battleground backstage after Brock Lesnar lost that triple threat match where him and Orton started getting into it and Tyson had to stand in the middle and break it up, Chad. Is there something going on in the future, Shock?
I mean, they've definitely had their little tiffs before, but they've always seemed, no matter what, to get on the same page.
This one seems different.
It does, but...
Mostly because Brock Lesnar was always on top of the mountain.
True.
Now he's not.
True. If I have to assume, I'd have to assume they'll probably figure it out.
One would like to hope. We have a match right here. Speaking of men.
Yes, two men right here.
Chris Jericho taking on Jushin Liger here, Chad. And
wow.
Jericho, he may have not got the job done last night at Battleground, but he gets the job tonight as he defeats Jushin Liger in 1947 with a Lion Tamer.
Good for Jericho.
Good for Jericho.
That a 95 is good, but that had potential to do better.
Yeah,
Did you think it was going to do a little bit better? A little bit, like maybe 97?
There was nothing wrong with it. I got no negatives either.
Right.
Maybe it went too long. Maybe Liger can't go 20 anymore. I don't fucking know. Kurt Angle busts into Vince's office.
Vince!
What the fuck is...
What the hell are you doing?
What the hell's your son talking about, Vince? That was a better Vince than I've ever done right there.
And it was for Kurt. And that was for Kurt. Wow, that was a great impression of me. That was great, pal. Let me try. It's true. It's damn true. What do you think?
Vince, shut the fuck up. What the hell's your son talking about, voter fraud? Submitting a petition to strip me of the belt. What the hell is he talking about? Well, someone liked my story.
Oh, cute.
What the hell's a story?
What the hell's a story? Sounds like you're making up a story.
And Vince is like, you know what? Kurt, I don't know what the hell my son is talking about. He's my son, my stepson. Is that that would be Paycheck, right? A stepson?
Yeah. No, son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
Stepson.
I don't know what the hell my son-in-law. I don't know what the hell Justin's smoking. I don't know what the hell my son-in-law is smoking either. I'll get to the bottom of this, but I promise you, Kurt, there will be no more. No shenanigans. We'll make sure there will be nothing. No stripping of you the belt. No stripping of your clothes. Nothing.
No stripping of anybody.
No stripping next week. in your match with PJ Buck. I can promise you with that. And Kurt is okay with it, but he's pissed off, Chad.
Yeah, well, and rightfully so, to be honest.
Christian beats down the Bashams. Really nothing I need to say about this.
No.
We saw on the Battleground pre-show, Christian was just trying to give the Bashams some pointers, and they shunned him. So Christian is now taking this into his own hands.
Wow.
As
what a bunch of assholes.
He spent a month trying to get with him, and they said, you know what, Christian, you have your own teammate, brother. I know he's hurt, but you're not an honorary Basham. We're not going to call you Sammy Uso. Like, that's not just... we move on. Our co-main event tonight, Chad. Dean Malenko, Kaiji Muto. This match happened.
Another match that in 85, but it had the potential to pop off.
I think Kaiji is really struggling right now. He is not happy in his physical ability. I don't think he makes it to 2022 in this save like he's doing in real life.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think same thing with like Sting. Like Sting
might be dead in 2022
like,
in this
I'm
game.
over here just like legitimately thinking to myself like, how many years do I have of Sting before I have to actually like start thinking like
now?
It's looking like it.
It's now. There's a reason why I pulled my. You want to pull the curtains back a little bit. We got in I almost offered Sting a contract, and then I realized, oh, this man doesn't have a lot left in him, brother. And I just didn't want to pay the $1 million price for him. It wasn't $1 million. That's just
right.
We move on. China. She reiterates. Remember, she beat Lita last night. There's no woman on this planet that can beat her for the belt, Chad. And you know what? I'm thinking, I believe that.
I mean, listen, even with the old place she used to work for, she was a dominant force there too. Like she's proven who's going to beat China.
Debbie Malenko? No.
Debbie Malenko has done it.
Yeah, well then that's why. Then I don't know why you brought.
But Debbie Malenko just lost to Trish Stratus, so maybe she doesn't have it anymore.
I don't know why you brought the other company when you immediately brought in a loss that someone beat her.
I mean, true, but
no one on this show's gonna beat her. Damn it! Which is a testament to how good Debbie Malenko is.
Yes.
And we move on. It's our main event. Bruce Pritchard, you're supposed to be Bryan Danielson.
He's like, hey, Trips. Hey, Trips, look at me. Oh, no, that's fucking, that's not Bruce Pritchard. No, that's the guy.
Hey, bro.
Fabulous Freebirds. What's his name?
Oh.
I'm forgetting his name. Hey, Vince.
God damn.
You know what I'm talking about?
Michael P.S.A.
Michael P.S.A. Hello.
Why the fuck are you yelling in my ear?
I don't know. Is he
Michael P.S.A. Well, it's Triple H and Bruce Pritchard apparently up next.
Kidding.
They have a great match, though, Chad. In 1942 time limit. But Triple H gets the job done in 1942. Hits him with the pedigree.
It's a hell of a main event.
Hell of a main event. And that's the end of Raw until Triple H is walking up the stairs. He's walking up the ramp, and Sean Morley appears on the top of the ramp. He says, "Who's a punk bitch loser now?" And he runs over and he tries to attack Triple H, but Triple H beats the shit out of him again. With Sean Morley on the ramp, he says, "Triple H, you did not kill me!" And then Triple H destroys him again on the top of the ramp and pedigrees him right on the ramp again.
Damn.
And just he rubs his hands through his hair and just flicks the sweat onto Sean Morley's body. And that's how we end Raw. A 91. We gain in popularity, Chan. A 91's a good show.
It is.
I'm going to write that down. Good show.
91 is a good show. I mean, listen, a blue number is technically a good show.
At this point, I think 90 or above are good shows for me. If I get in the 80s, we got to really talk about life, brother. I'm about to... We'll see it for Nitro, though. Chad, give me a sneak peek of Nitro.
I mean, we're celebrating the... All right, everybody, we are here for Monday Nitro. We are coming off of the heels of Great American Bash, where Chris Benoit won the United States and World Heavyweight Championship. He retained one. He retained one. He became a dual champion.
Season 4, not
True.
Season 4.
So, but anyway, we're just gonna jump right in, and with this pre-show match, Big Daddy V versus Tommy Dreamer.
You had to cut some time, didn't you?
Yep, and in a pre-show. Yep, and I don't even know if this deserved to be cut. We're gonna find out. Probably not. This would probably do better than some of the stuff on the card, but it didn't make sense to cut anything else. So, and a pre-show about that good wrestling and inspiration from the crowd. Big Daddy V defeated Tommy Dreamer in 1530 with a big splash.
Just drag you over.
You over?
Just close into the mic.
There we go. The show starts off. We recap the moment where Chris Benoit defeated Bret the Hitman Hart. And then he gets introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, still United States champion and world heavyweight champion, Chris Benoit. And Chris Benoit comes down to the ring. He's got both his championship belts. And he says, at Great American Bash, I beat a man who I respect more than anyone else in this sport. A man who is one of the all-time greats. And I prove that I'm better than he is. And as long as I'm champion, I'm going to defend both these belts. I'm going to be a fighting champion. All right, just because I'm the world champion doesn't mean my historic United States Championship run is over with. And just because I defend the U.S. belt on a show doesn't mean I won't defend this belt right along with it. You see, I'm going to be a fighting champion. And I'll put one or both up any time. And then Bret Hart comes out. And he challenges Chris Benoit. Well, he doesn't come out. First of all, he says, congratulations, Chris. He said, I overestimated you, and that was something that if I ever get the chance to fight you again, will never do. And he goes to shake Chris Benoit's hand, and Benoit shakes it. And he says, which brings me to why I'm out here. You see, I want my rematch at Great American Bash. Bret Hart versus Chris Benoit 2. What do you say? And he is interrupted by Rob Van Dam, who says, listen, not for nothing, I beat Shawn Michaels, all right? And Bret, listen, all right, I know you want a rematch, but listen, this is WCW, all right? You have to earn matches here. You don't just get things handed to you based on what you've done in the if somebody's going to come out here and have an opportunity to fight for the championship, well, I think the whole effing show deserves, a shot. And then the Big Show comes out and he says, first of all, no one cares about what some pipsqueak like Rob Van Dam has to say, and no one cares about what Bret Hart has to say, and no one sure cares about what Chris Benoit has to say. You see, I am the greatest professional athlete in the world. Better than Shaquille O'Neal, better than Ben Roethlisberger, better... Who was in 2002? Better than Brett Favre...
Guy said, hey, sophomore in college.
Yeah, better than you too.
Miami of Ohio University, Maction.
Better.
And Ben Roethlisberger. I'm better than you, brother.
And it's not just the major sports. I'm better than Muhammad Ali. I'm better than Mike Tyson. And he looks down in the camera when he says that. He's like, I'm better than any professional athlete. And that's why... if we're having matches to decide a number one contenders match, I'm putting myself in. And Bret Hart, he says, listen, if you guys want to have to fight about this, I'm down. How about this? Tonight, Rob Van Dam versus Bret Hart versus Big Show. And the winner becomes the number one contender for the world championship. And that's the main event tonight.
That's a classic WCW. Triple threat main event, world or number one contender, start of the month. That's typical right out of you.
But we got, Kip...
maybe they are right.
Kip James and Shane Douglas, have been teaming together the last few weeks. And tonight they've got their work cut out for them. The lights go off and they turn back on. Abyss and Mil Muertes are in the ring. And it is a match. Abyss and Mil Muertes defeat Shane Douglas and Kip James in 9:38 when Abyss pinned Kip James with the shock treatment. So... we are backstage. Mean Gene Okerlund. He's like, Shawn. So Shawn, I'm here with Shawn Michaels. Now, Shawn, you are not part of the main event tonight to determine the number one contender. Now, is it because you didn't get the job done against Rob Van Dam at the pay-per-view? And he's like, well, thanks for reminding me, Mean Gene. Yeah, you're right. Rob Van Dam, he was able to get one over on old HBK. And I'm not in the number one contenders match tonight. But listen, all right, that's okay, because here's the thing. Shawn Michaels is far, far from done with main eventing, with getting championship matches. All right, not everybody can be in the spotlight all the time. All right, but make one thing clear. All right, I may not be fighting for the world championship at Great American Bash, but I will be in a match. And my opponent, let's just say stay tuned. We got a singles match, Brian Knobbs versus Ron Killings, and this match went for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then it was called to a draw because the Wild Boys came out and beat them both up, and then they grab a microphone.
Why?
Because they just wanted, listen, it's their time now.
All right, that's all I needed to know.
Yep. They said, we're sorry for interrupting that match. I guess you could call it that. Wait a second. No, we're not. He says, everybody has been asking me all week why Chase Tatum turned on Hulk Hogan. Hulk, I didn't turn on you. I've been using you. You see, Hulk, I told you a couple weeks ago that I would always look out for my family. And Hulk, I did just that. Because you look in the ring with these 3 men. I see 3 men that I've known now for years. You see, before I worked for another company, I was part of a developmental where I met these 3 men. And the 3 of us, we were brothers. We had no problem doing what we wanted, whenever we wanted. And if anybody had a problem with it, it didn't matter because we had each other's backs. And they'd come here, and I've been admiring from afar, waiting for the right time to get back together with my brothers. And I saw no opportunity than after I was riding the coattails of one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling, using what little bit of talent, what little bit of star quality you had left, Hulk. I rang it out of you like an old rag, and then threw you out to dry. And now I am with the Wild Boys. Now I'm with my real family. And Ken Anderson says, and you're also looking at 2 new tag team champions. And let this be the first of many to come. Because the Wild Boys, we're going to pick back up where we started, kicking ass and taking names. And Ken Anderson says, or Chuck Palumbo says, and we're going to prove that tonight when the 4 of us, we're going to beat up 4 random, any 4 people, that want to come down here tonight and try to make a name for themselves against the Wild Boys. Come on out. And then Dave Bautista says, yeah, we'll give you till the commercial break to grow a set of balls and grow some nerve and get in the ring with the Wild Boys. So they go to commercial and they come back. They're met with Jimmy Wang Yang, Crash Holly, Alfred Snow, and Steve Carino.
Right. This show does suck.
But it got a 68, which is better than I thought it was going to get. But in a decent match, the Wild Boys defeated these 4 athletes when Chase Tatum pinned Jimmy Wang Yang with a pile driver.
Steve Carino, for no reason. What's your deal with Steve Carino being not treated well?
Listen,
he's another guy that I could just take and give him, push him to stardom.
Well,
he was the best one in the ring this match, brother.
Maybe he will. Listen, he just needed to do this little loss today. So, but anyway.
You were not going to do anything with it.
We move on. Billy He says, Billy Kidman says, Chuck, Crash, don't go too far. And then he brings out the other men. He says, you're looking right here at the coaches for this season of Tough Enough. We have the winner of last year's Tough Enough. We got Chuck Palumbo. We've got a former ECW champion, a man who has fought some of the toughest men in professional wrestling and says he's going to give a unique perspective to whoever his rookie is. We have the Sandman. We have former Universal Champion, former Tag Team Champion, former US Champion. This man has done it all in WCW. An absolute legend to WCW. We have here Ahmed Johnson. Will Ahmed be able to coach the next Ahmed Johnson? And then we've got the reigning defending television champion CM Punk. And last but not least, Crash Holly. These are your Tough Enough coaches. And coaches, let's meet your rookies. We have here the coach for last year's champion, Chuck Palumbo. We've got Sean O'Hare. We've got Sandman's rookie, Matt Seidel.
Why are you?
Because I forgot to put Crash Holly twice.
What the?
We have
Crash Holly playing with himself.
We have Ahmed Johnson's rookie, Austin Aries. We've got CM Punk's rookie, Colt Cabana. And, well, Crash Holly, here's the thing. Why are you still out here? You're supposed to get out of the ring so your rookie could come in. I'm just really excited. Okay, but, like, you need to get out of the ring so he can show up. And then CM Punk grabs a microphone from the side and he says, I'll tell you what, I don't really care about what these rookies look like. I want to see what they can do in the ring. All right, you can look tough, but let's see if you are tough. All right, Kidman, I think you should make them square off right now in the ring. And as that's happening, Crash Holly's rookie shows up, Giant Singh. And in about that terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Sean O'Hare defeated Matt Seidel, Austin Aries, Colt Cabana, and the Giant Singh in 5:45 when Sean O'Hare pinned Colt Cabana with the Widowmaker.
Nice.
Yeah. And we've got a women's four-way match. This will determine the new number one contender.
Just have some continuality and some storyline.
Well, they just wrapped up a big program with Debbie Malenko. It's time for a new challenger.
Yeah, but so did Triple H with Sean Morley, and he's still, what's going on with that?
Yeah, but that was like the blow-off. They've feuded for like a few months now.
I get that, but like, I think and this might be opening the curtains a little bit too much, but I think because we spend so long in between recordings, it's like very stop and go with your storylines. Like, it feels like every week one of Nitro and Thunder, we have to determine a new number one contender. We have to do a multi-man match to do it again. I feel like it feels very cookie cutter, copy and paste on every Raw or Nitro week one of every month. We can go back in last month's Nitro and probably see the same thing.
Yeah, well, last night was like the start of the Bret Hart, but I get what you're saying. For sure.
I had a number one contender match, but that was because of story.
Yeah.
I just said, hey,
well,
hurt.
She's moved on. She's moved on from Debbie now. She needs a new challenger.
But has Debbie moved on from her?
Well, I mean, it was a last woman standing match, so she might be. But anyway, Minami Toyota wins a four-way match. We are backstage. CM Punk is screaming at his rookie Colt Cabana for losing.
That's Devon.
I know, and Devon Dudley comes in. Devon Dudley comes in, and he said, and Punk says, "What do you want?" And all of the society around them stand up, and Devon says, "Listen, all right, there's no need for that. Tell your guys to back off. I came here just as a man." And CM Punk says, "What do you want?" And he says, "Punk, I'm not asking for another opportunity at the TV championship. No, instead, I'm just gonna challenge you to a fight. You see, CM Punk, I'm sick and tired of always being counted out, and you managed to cheat to win at the pay-per-view. All right, but Punk, let's make one thing clear. All right, our paths will cross again, and when they do, CM Punk, I will have your number. You see, I haven't given up. My quest to win a singles championship, to prove everyone wrong, is still in full effect." And Punk says, "Devon, here's the thing, though. You say it's still in full effect. It's taken you how long since you've decided to do this? Listen, Devon, listen. I think you're a good guy, but, you're always living in Bubba's shadow, and now you're living in Stacy's. There's nothing that makes me want to give you another opportunity." And Devon Dudley, he says, "Punk, I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to go to war for another opportunity." And Punk says, "You know what, Devon Dudley? I'll give you a deal. At the pay-per-view, if you can go through every single member of the society at Great American Bash, I'll give you me one-on-one for the TV championship." And Devon Dudley, he says, "You're on." And Punk says, "Good. The next time you show up in my locker room, you won't be able to leave on your own. I'll see you next week, Devon." And then the society, they all kind of like shoulder check past him and walk away. Which brings us to our main event on 97, The Big Show versus Bret Hart versus Rob Van Dam. And in an exceptional match, Bret Hart defeats The Big Show and Rob Van Dam when Bret Hart submitted. Yeah, Rob Van Dam got the loss here. I wanted it to be a pinfall match, but he tapped out. During the match,
You can make the finish.
yeah, I just had Rob Van Dam take the loss, thinking for some reason it was going to be pinfall, forgetting what it was. You know what I mean? It's Bret Hart. I know. I should have. I know. Yeah. But anyway, Shawn Michaels. So Rob Van Dam was about to, he had Shawn Michaels right where he wanted him, and he turned around. And he was super kicked by Shawn Michaels, and his face just begins bleeding. Just his face is just busted open, and everyone's like, "What the hell?" I mean, don't get me wrong, Shawn Michaels super kicks are pretty powerful, but Shawn Michaels then looks at the crowd and laughs as he looks, and he has like barbed wires duct taped around his shoe, and he kicked Rob Van Dam in the face with barbed wired boots.
Little Barbie boots.
But that sets up Bret Hart and Chris Benoit too. That 97 was not enough. We got an 89 because of the Tough Enough people. But that's okay.
See, no, really, was that match needed to just do Bret Benoit again?
I mean,
he should get
it helps sets up the rematch with Shawn and Rob Van Dam, though. Is really what it is.
I guess you could have done that, but you could have kept that going without having a RVD tap out.
Yeah, he should have been a pinfall match or a loss, but
he should have been in a loss regardless.
I mean, you can
Bret Hart
still
could have just cashed in his rematch.
Yeah,
clause.
you could still lose though and be strong. That's fine. I mean,
I get that, but it didn't need to happen.
I think it did. I think for the story I'm telling, I think it did.
Bret Hart could have or Shawn could have just blindsided RVD backstage.
Yeah, but
and Bret could have said, "I want my rematch clause. I was the world champion."
But we've made it. But we've made.
And then Big Show just took a loss.
But we made a precedent that it just the rematch clauses. Those are nice, but on WCW you don't always get them. You gotta.
What do
you gotta fight. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. That's why we have number one contenders matches.
But do you understand where I'm coming from here?
Yeah, but I think in this instance it was okay.
Contender match just to prove that Bret should get his rematch.
It's okay. Listen, you had to earn
just to have RVD Shawn Michaels interference.
That's okay. It's all good.
That could have been a backstage angle.
It could have been, but
should have been.
We're fine.
Because then you put a loss on the record. I know it's
fine.
strong, but
it's fine.
Why give him a loss when you don't need to?
Yeah, I think, Rob Van Dam had no reason to. Screwing him out of the number one contenders match, that's a reason to continue the feud. And cutting him open with barbed wire shoes.
So Big Show here.
Yeah, Big Show just needed something to do. And now he can say he didn't take the pinfall or the submission. He can still be the best athlete.
I think the people are right.
I think the people don't understand what they have.
I think they understand what they used to have and they want it back so goddamn bad.
Yeah, I know. Tell Justin to quit hiring people and then you can have them.
But you can run the same segments but with just different people.
I got fun things planned. Don't you worry.
You gotta open the originality. You're a creative guy. You are such a creative guy. You can have new different gimmicks for people that don't have to look, this is what happened in real life. Here's Neil Mascaris.
Oh, for sure.
You can have a new Scott Steiner.
And we are here for Thunder. I keep forgetting that we did this, so basically the WCW ones are right in the middle. I always forget that.
What do you mean you keep forgetting?
Keep forgetting. I always get ready to get back. I know, but yes, I know, but I'm saying right when this started, I said, "Oh yeah, Thunder is next." I always forget. I was getting ready to get up and trade you. But anyway, we're just gonna jump right into this.
Yeah, tell me about this show.
Yeah, well, of course, like I said, Great American Bash. We crowned 2 new world champions for WCW. Obviously, we saw Chris Benoit on Nitro, but we had Minoru Suzuki won the Universal Championship.
Why?
So,
explain why. Why was he even fighting for the belt?
Yes, because The Rock had to be stripped of the belt due to injuries.
Pretend people have.
Unfortunately.
Pretend people are just now starting.
Yes, so The Rock had to drop the belt. So we had a 4-way match. It was Suzuki versus Shamrock versus Ray versus Hoovy, and Suzuki won.
There we go.
So
let's get into it.
Let's get into it, indeed. And we start the show off. We got Billy Kidman and the Kidman.
What's Uno doing here?
They got the court of Kidman. And he's there with the Council of Kidman. Yeah. Sorry, yes, we put this as a stable. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing episode of Thunder. And today I give you my council, the Council of Kidman." You see,
cock.
you see, Ted DiBiase.
I give you my cock.
Yes, indeed. You see, Ted DiBiase. You see, Ted. No, we're gonna use that. Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase. You know, he's still injured. He's still out. So you know, I can't do it all alone. I'm just one man. So I have my court. And what better way? You see, when The Rock went down, there's my counsel, my court, my cock. And I got them all here, and it's a powerful, powerful cock, I gotta tell you what. But, you know, here's the thing. The Rock went down with an injury, mainly because, you know, for a man named Rock, he sure is made of glass. And we needed to fill a new champion. And I looked at the men in the match. I saw Rey Mysterio, Juventud, Ken Shamrock. And I knew there was only one logical explanation. Minoru Suzuki. So I made sure that my counsel had his back. And now, Suzuki, you are the Universal Champion. And as long as you stay on this path, as long as you continue to work next to the council, Suzuki, you and I will have a very profitable partnership. And then Ken Shamrock's music hits, and he comes down to the ring, and he says, First of all, I just want to say I couldn't help but notice when you were naming down the list of names in the match, you snickered when you said Ken Shamrock, Billy Kidman, and that's mighty bold of you for somebody who I could snap in half like a twig. And Kidman, you know, he says, listen, Ken, listen, all four of these men were former Universal Champions, but let's be honest, I mean, a lot of people have, something, have issue with your run, He says, why? Why? He said, well, you weren't good for ratings and you hid behind a movie star. He says, okay, Suzuki's hiding behind you. And Kidman's like, and then Minoru Suzuki steps forward and he says, let's make one thing clear. I'm not hiding. I'm right here. All right. Shamrock, and if you, I'm never, ever gonna hide from you. And Shamrock says, well, that's good, Suzuki, because that makes two of us, because I'm not running either. And I just gotta say, you know what, since The Rock isn't back yet, all right, and you need someone to fight at Great American Bash, how about this? How about I get that first crack, all right? How about Suzuki versus Ken Shamrock? And the council, they all look at each other, and they all just begin laughing. And Kidman says, Shamrock, listen, all right? Don't you worry about who Suzuki's going to wrestle, okay? Suzuki, we have that covered, all right? I'll tell you what, though. All right, you go back and you worry about yourself, and maybe down the line you'll be able to wrestle Minoru Suzuki. But in the meantime, we're gonna go get somebody who's a little bit more championship caliber, and that's when Shamrock says, "Championship caliber." He said, "I'll rip through any of you, any one of you guys. I'm gonna kick all your asses." And he's getting mad. And then that's when Suzuki, he says, he squares up, and Ken Shamrock and Suzuki, they're like neck to neck. It looks like they're about to go fist to cuffs, but Kidman says, you know what, Shamrock? Since you're clearly in the mood to fight, how about tonight you're gonna go one-on-one in singles action in the main event? But I'll tell you what, let's see. If you're really championship caliber, then you'll be able to wrestle and win your match without knowing your opponent. You don't need preparation. So we'll see you out there later tonight in the main event. And Shamrock said, I'll wrestle anybody you put in front of me, Billy Kidman. But just remember, you can only keep putting people in front of me. Eventually, you're going to run out of guys to put in front of me. And you're going to have me wrestle Minoru Suzuki.
Okay.
And we got James Storm versus Dragon Kid as our first opening match. And about that decent wrestling but little heat, James Storm defeats Dragon Kid in 11-11 with a 8-second ride.
Oh, he beat him with your finisher.
Yeah. Well, he learned from the best. He learned from the best. It's not that long of a ride, but it's a fun one. It's worth waiting in line for.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Shout that from the rooftops.
We're backstage. We're backstage. Rey Mysterio is watching back the footage of AJ Styles interfering and costing him the Universal title. He keeps watching it on repeat over and over again, just like steaming mad. And he turns around and Low D's backstage, and he says, "Listen, Rey, you know I've been trying to go at Kidman and his guys now for like months. All right, and." Everybody kept, no one was worried about it. You know, it was just Lodi's battle. Well, let me tell you something, Rey. Now the battle, it came up to you. All right. And now listen, all right. I'm just saying, you know, you want to fight them. I want to fight them. Hell, apparently Ken Shamrock wants to fight them. But Rey, I just want to let you know, all right, there's a lot of them. We're going to need numbers. And I just want you to know, Rey, I've got your back. Low D has your back. And Rey says, you know what, Low D? I appreciate that. Tonight, I'm going one-on-one against Eric Young. And if any funny business gets involved with those guys, you know, I'm glad you're having my back. And Low D says, yeah, I'm a master of disguise. Don't you worry about me. They won't even know I'm there. And Rey says, oh, okay. And Justin, we got Bobby Roode versus Monty Brown in a decent match. Bobby Roode defeats Monty Brown in 13:57 with a Rude Awakening.
Ooh.
And Raven and Sting, there's footage of them, and they're driving around. The city they're performing at, and they're at the Simmons Bank Field at the Golden Lion Stadium. You know, the place they usually go. So they know the roads well. They're driving around, and you know, they're talking about, you know, their upcoming, you know, they're talking about the show, and as they're driving, they notice pulling up at a red light, and his own little rental car is Raven. And so they pull up and they look at Raven, and they're like, you know, they look at him, and Raven flips him off and pulls forward. So Owen Hart and Sting, you know, they're not going to take that lying down. So they haul the gas. And Justin, they T-bone Raven.
Oh.
They slam into him right in the street.
Oh.
Raven gets out, and he's like, what the hell, man? And they back up, Justin, slam the gas, run Raven right over.
Jesus.
They ran Raven over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where have we
drove right over him.
That's the second car ran over segment in a month and a half here in the save.
Well, they ran over Raven. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
C.W. Anderson and Johnny Storm are coming back then.
So. And we announce the Thunder Tough Enough rookies.
I can do it anyway.
So. We are the coaches for the Thunder side of Tough Enough. We got Kidman.
Canyon.
Or Kidman's announcing that's Canyon, Eddie Colon,
only 4.
Shane Helms, and Evan Courageous.
Was there 5 on Nitro?
Yeah, I just forgot one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was a...
No, I just forgot one.
Okay.
So.
You can say it.
Yeah, let me pull up my phone. Oh, Lance Storm. Lance Storm is the other one. Lance Storm is the other one. I had it written down. Evan Courageous is also there for reasons. He was a last minute fill-in for the coaches because Chris Candido was supposed to be here and he's hurt. So Evan Courageous is here. When was the last time Evan Courageous had anything to do? So, you know.
Was he? I thought he was in it. I thought he wasn't tough enough contestant.
No, he's a coach.
Oh.
They go, Kidman says, let me introduce you to the Thunder side of Tough Enough. We have, of course, Lance Storm, who couldn't be here tonight. You know, he's got the stomach flu. Get well soon, Lance. We've got the former United States champion. We got
That's so funny.
Canyon. We got the former tag team cruiserweight champions. You know, we got Shane Helms here, a man who's poised to be one of our future stars. We got a guy who, when we announced that we were looking for Tough Enough coaches, he came to me and he said, let me coach, because I'm going to be a damn better coach than the guy I had in the first one. Eddie Colon is here to coach a Tough Enough rookie, and a man who has been on this roster now for many, many years. And, you know, a lot of people like to sleep on him, but he is
hey, wake up.
a hell of an athlete. And he, you know what, maybe he has some wisdom to pass on. We've got Evan Courageous. And here are the rookies. We've got Nick Dinsmore, TJ Wilson, Christian York, Stretch Major, and of course, the 18-year-old kid, Kevin Steen. Now, here are the pairings, of course. We've got Nick Dinsmore, who will be pairing with Canyon.
Of course.
Here's the plot twist. Eddie Colon was coached by Bret Hart, and Bret Hart, he wasn't too fond of him. Well, now he's taking on a guy who came up from the Hart dungeon, TJ Wilson. We've got, Shane Helms. He will be coaching Christian York. We've got Lance Storm, who, like I said, is home with the stomach flu, but he will be coaching Stretch Major, which of course leaves Kevin Courageous to coach Kevin Steen.
You just said Kevin Steen right before.
I said Stretch Major. Stretch Major is going to be coached by Lance Storm, and then Kevin Steen is coached by Evan Courageous.
Yeah.
And these are the Tough Enough rookies. And, I liked last week so much. We got a showcase of our upcoming rookies that, I wanted to see what you could all do again. So that's why I had y'all bring your wrestling gear. You're wrestling tonight. This one did much better.
Yeah, because they're actually competent people.
And about the head...
Why didn't you get the... one of these guys sucks?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. These guys are ready to go now, I guess. But yeah.
Maybe it doesn't matter in multi-man matches? I don't
know. Did we get him? We'll have to look if we got him in the last one.
There's not a shot. If JBL's still unimportant, there's not a shot any of these guys aren't.
Right. But anyway, about that decent wrestling.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, non-existent crowd heat. Justin, Nick Dinsmore wins the first Tough Enough match for the Thunder side.
Former WWE wrestler.
Well, now he's a Tough Enough rookie.
He won a couple matches on Raw, and then I forgot to sign him.
And we sniped him right up. We show up here. We are in a dark, dark room. And Juventud stands there and he says, I didn't get the job. You can barely. It's very dark. You can barely see him though. He says,
So dimly lit.
I didn't get a nice dimly lit room. I didn't get the job done against The Rock. And you know what? I'll own that. That's on me. But that main event, that 4-way match, we were screwed from the start. You see, Kidman had a plan, and his plan did not involve Juventud Guerrera. And listen, that's fine, because no one's plans ever involve Juventud Guerrera. I've had to fight tooth and nail for everything I've won in this company. Let me take you back. The entire time I've been here, I've always been overshadowed by other men who were talented wrestlers, and I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. And it wasn't until I decided to take matters into my own hands, when I decided to develop a mean streak, when I decided to hurt people, when I finally got what I wanted. And now maybe karma's come back to get me. But let's make one thing clear. All right? There have been many people come to this company. There have been many faces of this brand, and all of them are gone. But you know who's still here? Juventud Guerrera. When people had to leave the kitchen, Juventud Guerrera was still here. And I think it's time.
That was a good line.
I take what should have been mine for a long, long time. And he snaps his fingers and the lights come on, and around him, Justin, is a kitchen. And he says, "This is Thunder, and this is the house that Hoovy built." And Kidman, this is your warning. The next time you get in my business, I'm going to take this ring bell and I'm going to hit you over the skull with it. And I don't care which one of your cronies get in my way. They'll get a bell to the head too, because I'm sick and tired of being passed over. I'm getting my Universal Championship, and I'm going to prove to everybody why, when everybody else left, the real face of this company has always been Juventud Guerrera. And our co-main event, Rey Mysterio versus Eric Young. And about that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Rey Mysterio Jr. defeats Eric Young in 13:35 by pinfall with a springboard hurricanrana. After the match, Rey Mysterio, he is celebrating. He gets attacked by AJ Styles and Eric Young. They're beating him down, and everyone's like freaking out. They're like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then all of a sudden, you look over to the announce table, and you think what you're looking at is the Thunder announce team, but a man wearing a very, very, very good Joey Styles disguise. He starts taking it off, and you realize the master of disguise is ringside. It was Lodi the whole time, and Lodi rolls in the ring.
Should have seen it coming.
And begins fighting off AJ and Eric Young, and he stands side by side with Rey Mysterio. And we get to our co-main event. Ken Shamrock, he gets down to the ring. He's warming up. Our main event, sorry. Ken Shamrock, he gets in the ring. He's like warming up. He's like jumping around. He's ready to go. He's amped up. He's focused. And then Justin, a man who is a very close friend to Minoru Suzuki, a man who even considers him a brother, his music hits. And we get Ken Shamrock versus Taka Michinoku.
I thought you were hyping that up to be someone else.
Nope. And about that, great wrestling and good heat. Ken Shamrock defeats Taka Michinoku in 1901 with an ankle lock. After the match, the cock come out and they all get in the ring, and Ken Shamrock he's revved up, he's amped up, he suplexes Taka Michinoku, he suplexes Dark Shark. Kidman runs, but then quickly sees what's going on and rolls out of the ring right before Ken Shamrock can grab him. But while Ken Shamrock's back was turned, Suzuki gets in the ring and he attacks from behind and starts beating down Shamrock, but Shamrock turns back around, catches one of the fists of Suzuki, brings him in, gets him up, and suplexes Minoru Suzuki. And then as Ken Shamrock stands tall as all of the members of the court of Kidman. They're laid out everywhere, and Ken Shamrock stands tall in the ring. And looks at all of them and just says, "Am I not championship material now, huh?" And just continues to everyone else kind of like rolls out of the ring because they're like, they're injured, they're getting out of there. Ken Shamrock grabs Dark Shark and just continues to power bomb him over and over again.
Yes, sir.
And that's Thunder, and it gets an 80.
Oh!
Ugh, not great.
Well, another one for the good guy.
But that's okay because, that's fine. It's
80 is,
I don't know where, it has to be this little middle chunk, right? But like... because two blues, and then an 88 right here, like
Eric Young too much.
I may have used Eric Young too much.
The game. That's what the game said.
But all these guys were used a fine amount, which is wild to me.
Yeah, 2 segments is fine for them.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Thunder, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you for SmackDown.
Yes.
And we are here on SmackDown. Justin, what can we expect on SmackDown this week?
Wrestling.
Oh, nice. Or should we say sports entertainment?
No, wrestling.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
What you can expect to see is WWE continuing to be the #1 company in the world because, again, this week we have won the best show of the week. Everybody, high fives. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that one's for you, Billy. Mm-hmm. You too, Ted. That one's for you, baby. WWE, once again, Monday Night Raw being the show of the week. As of now, SmackDown could be it, but it doesn't matter. We do know that WCW will not be the #1 show this week. Chad Chad hates this.
I'm numb to it now.
Yeah, when
it starts not hurting your feelings anymore when it's said so much.
Well, it's because it's so damn true, Chad. I just have to let the people know, People say LeBron's the best player all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm the LeBron of wrestling, the GOAT.
The GOAT?
Yeah,
I'd say this series is the GOAT.
I wouldn't. There are some better ones. I watched one today that had edited a whole Royal Rumble.
Whatever.
Shout out to Connell or Canal.
Sure, yeah, shout out.
Have you ever watched this?
No, but if you like it, then I'm sure it's good.
Chad.
The only TW I watch.
Chad doesn't watch TEW. He doesn't think about TEW when I'm gone. He just...
That's not true. I think about it when you're gone. I don't watch other TEW. That is an accurate... That's an accurate thing. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
Why not, brother?
I don't know. It's not that I hate it. If I just there's other things.
There's some good stuff.
No doubt. I mean, listen. There's always been good stuff. I mean, you know, I'm sure there's something I'd love. And I mean, listen. Send me some stuff. I'd love to get back into a good series. I just haven't.
There's one that's just as long as ours, basically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's it called? Let's shout him out.
I just did. It was Connell TEW.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll check him out.
I'll put a link in. I've never interacted with them before, but
we'll put a link in the description.
I'll put a link in the description. I was watching the Royal Rumble today.
Oh, nice! Shout out to them.
They're 3 years into it, just like we are.
Nice, cool.
Chad fucking hates it.
No, that's awesome.
Chad's so tired right now.
No, we're good. I'm all in, brother.
All right, I'll keep this going for another 3 minutes.
Yeah, anyone else you want to shout out?
No, let's start. I didn't do any pre-shows. Oh. Well, the final bosses come out, Chad.
Nice, yes.
Don't look away. Close your eyes.
Look away? How about
I know you already saw it, but close your eyes.
I didn't see anything.
Don't play on your phone. I just said
looking down.
That just says look down. You still gotta pay attention here.
Go ahead.
You still gotta pay attention here, Chad. I keep forgetting Spotify's open so that woman's face keeps looking at me.
I've looked at that face like 6 times.
I'm gonna close my Spotify for a second and then bring this back over and get that. Okay, that was unprofessional. The final bosses come out, Chad. We saw Battleground. We saw Masawa get the job done. He beat The Undertaker 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, cutting The Undertaker's reign kind of short. You know, won it in March, lost it in June. Who would have thought, Chad? But in the lead up to that, we also saw the Brothers of Destruction kind of reunite. Oh, my pen just fell apart.
That's not good.
I just DoorDashed these
DoorDash pens?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know how sad and lonely I am to DoorDash pens. Oh no, it's gone.
Oh, no, they're shitty pens.
No, they're great pens. I'm taking them apart because I don't know. Cornet. God damn it! I told you, motherfucker.
Just
Cornet
amped up today.
Take Cornet's mic away. Cornet just says, he told everyone, like he said from the day one that Masawa was gonna come in here, and he was gonna do what no man's ever done before: win the SmackDown World Championship. And he called himself the final boss of professional wrestling.
A nickname all unique to himself and no one else.
That's not true because Hashimoto and Kojima are also part of the final bosses of professional wrestling.
Still, no one else before him.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
Vader. Dr. Death, maybe. Steve Williams?
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. What do you mean? Well, if it already came before him, and we've already seen it.
Yeah, you're right. It was Raven, Justin. It was Raven.
No,
Raven. Raven's gimmick.
Ed Raven was a poem.
It's okay. Raven's gonna start calling himself the Dead Man.
He just got ran over. He might as well.
He might as well be.
In an angle that has never happened before in this save. That's kind of crazy.
How's it feel that people copy you?
Well, seeing you've done it repeatedly in this save, you just become numb to it.
Anyway, what do they have to say?
You just become numb to it.
What do these people
If it happens so many times, it doesn't really hurt you anymore.
No, what do they have to say?
Spoken words from true Chad Pringle here. They're just talking that shit, Chad. They're the final boss of professional wrestling. They're all champions at this point. They're all littered in gold. And Cornette just says he's just shit talking Taker. Right? He's just shit talking. I'm trying to rush through this so you can go to bed.
No, you're the rush.
And then the lights come out, Chad. And Taker and Kane are back in the ring.
Okay.
And the final bosses all scurry away.
Chad. They all scurry away like a bunch of final pussies.
Okay.
They scurried away. They were scared of The Undertaker and Kane.
Why'd you say it? Final pussies?
Because they're the final bosses.
No, they're the final bosses.
More like a bunch of final pussies because they're scared of The Undertaker and Kane.
They're not scared. They just got scared.
Okay.
Can you just listen to the problem? Will you stop it? That's what Michael Cole would say to JBL back in 1994 on WWE Presents Saturday Night Heat. Live here in the Church Dome here in San Francisco.
What's going on here?
I'm putting my pen back. Oh, Daniels is sad, but Jared tells him he's got his back and will get him another title shot against Latin Lover. That's what happens. That's what I wrote.
Okay. Yeah, you're not wrong.
You know, Double J Records. He said his signing bonus was a United States Championship, which
That's the signing bonus.
That was the signing bonus.
The signing bonus is you just get the United States.
No,
Championship.
he was a number one contender. He was that was his signing bonus. He had to fight for it. And I like how you think it's funny that this happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, it's just funny that that was a weird way of wording it. The signing bonus.
That's what
become the number one contender. It's just funny.
Yeah, that was a signing bonus.
Yeah.
That's real politicking. Maybe PJ Black should get on that.
Yeah, looking off for number one contenderships.
Just sign a deal with an agent.
Yeah.
And then Jared tells him he pulled some strings, and we get a rematch of that match tonight. Latin Lover, Chris Daniels tonight, Chad. The rematch from Battleground. Ooh. We move on. Our opening match, Scotty 2 Hotty taking on Rob Echoes.
Nice.
Rob Echoes, a local talent here in the Spokane, Washington area. He's making his mark here in the Washington indie wrestling
looks
scene.
More like he should live in New Jersey.
No. He lives in Seattle, Washington, brother. He drove a couple hours to Spokane for tonight's show.
Fair enough.
I know Scotty 2 Hotty should look like he lives in New Jersey. Yeah. That's weird.
I mean, that guy literally looks like Paulie D in that picture. So
Paulie D with a handlebar?
Both of them, quite frankly, could pull off Jersey Shore characters.
No, this guy's from Spokane or Seattle, Washington.
He's from the Spokane shore, the shores of Spokane.
No, he's from Seattle.
He's from the shores of Seattle.
Do you know where Seattle's at?
Yeah, it's in Washington.
Okay. Yeah. Not D.C.
Yeah.
Scotty 2 Hotty, nice win. He actually lost last week to Mick Foley last SmackDown. But gets his win back tonight, John.
Nice.
We move on. Chavo Guerrero, we saw him back at Battleground front row, and he's here tonight, and he's backstage, and he runs into the Latin Lover. Ooh, former Guerrero Dojo members here, Chen.
Yeah.
And Latin Lover, he gives him a hug, and he says, you know what, Latin Lover, see, you've done well for yourself. And Latin Lover's like, you know what? Glad to have you back around, Chavo. But not really. Because once you got injured and Eddie fucked off and left somewhere else, my career kind of came into the limelight. I'm the sexiest wrestler in the ring, but now I'm also one of the most talented. I'm the United States champion. Gold around my way, something you could never say. And you were in WCW, and they gave titles to everyone back in the Cruiserweight division over there, and you still don't have any accolades in this wrestling business, Chavo, besides having your name as Guerrero. The Guerrero Dojo was the worst time of my life, and as soon as that disbanded, my life expanded.
Ooh. Words.
Chavo's like, hurtful. Good luck tonight, buddy. Wow.
Words.
That fucking hurt, Chad. I got a good promo, and you just said...
Yeah, that was a good promo.
You just said...
Yeah, words. They were good. Those were good words. That was a good promo.
Just say words.
Words.
You had a nice bar and a nice line in your show, and I said, that was a good one. Yeah. That was a good one. You said, words.
Yeah, it was basically the same thing.
Words. Rhino defeats Blue Panther. Wrestling. The family we go back. We're not even backstage. We're in a dark room, dimly lit. We're actually in a graveyard where the family are all standing around, and there's a priest talking, and it's basically a funeral as they all say their words, and they grab a lighter, gas, and they put gas on the tombstone, and they light it on fire, and that tombstone says, The Gentleman's Club. Ooh. Not even a tombstone. Sorry, Chad. This is the strip club that they would hang out in.
Oh, they're burning the strip club.
That's what it is.
Oh,
no. Book it on the fly, brother.
They're burning the strip club.
They got in the Uber. They went to the strip club. They burned that down instead.
They burned it down. You're supposed to be making it rain, not making it burn.
It seems like the Gentleman's Club is no more, Chad.
Damn.
Wow.
A
good send-off.
A good send-off.
They were high and mighty, and then they lost to Mike Sanders. We move on. We have a match right here, Chad. It's Tajiri taking on Amazing Red.
Interesting.
It is interesting because you know who's backstage watching this match?
Ooh, I simply must know.
Shannon Moore.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's just scouting.
What does he have to say?
He's watching backstage.
Yeah. Does he have popcorn?
He doesn't have a mic. He's just watching the TV.
Yeah.
Why would he say anything?
Does he have popcorn?
No, he's got his light heavyweight championship, though.
No, you can't eat that.
No.
Doesn't taste good.
But he's 7 feet tall.
And you can't teach that.
We move on. Eric Bischoff. After the shenanigans, what happened at the opening promo, he makes the main event for next week. He wants to see the final bosses of Hashimoto and Kojima take on The Undertaker and Kane in tag team action next week in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, we're going to blow the roof off North Dakota.
Hotbed of wrestling.
One of the great wrestling territories. 96.
What the fuck? Don Fry beats La Parka. What the fuck?
Okay.
Don Fry pulling out 94s
Listen, La
here.
Parka is in the 100 Club. So
He is. He almost got another one with Don Fry. 94 for Don Fry is pretty.
That's insane.
It's not that insane, but it is. Remember when Don Fry got mad?
Yeah.
What do you do?
He left.
Yeah. Fuck him. We move on.
Ruined your New Japan thing, too.
We get a recap.
Ooh, a recap.
Of the Goldberg-John Cena match from Battleground, Chad. Where Goldberg, where you predicted wrong. Goldberg got the job done. Showcasing his utter dominance in the ring. And then he grabbed the microphone after that and called out Masawa. At that point, there was a microphone. What am I talking about? He basically called out Masawa there. Mm-hmm. Is that going to lead to a world title match, though, Chad?
I mean, I'd have to assume eventually. If not next, eventually.
Maybe.
He did say you're next, though, promptly he would have to be next.
Yeah, but he's not the booker.
He didn't say, Masawa, you're down the line.
We get a co-main event here where Mick Foley breaks his shoulder.
What are you doing with Kid Cash?
He's just floundering right now.
He's just floundering.
He's in the upper mid card where I just don't have a story for him yet, him and Mystico.
Right.
But they can still put on good matches.
Yeah. Big broke his shoulder.
A big broken shoulder though for Mick Foley, so maybe Kid Cash takes his spot.
Maybe he starts wearing a flannel and says, "Have a nice day."
That is unfortunate. I would assume Mick Foley got thrown off the top turnbuckle as he was going for a shooting star press. And
yeah, that makes sense. Typical Foley fashion.
Foley the high flyer. And we move on. We're backstage. They're walking in the locker room, and they open the door to go in the hallway, and Team Slaughter are back.
They're back.
From their hospital segment, their gimmick, because they're not the latest car running over victims.
Hey, out with the old in with the new.
Yeah, so they can't sell their car injuries anymore. There's a new guy that has to do that.
They're wearing hospital gowns?
Yes, they are.
They quite literally came from the hospital.
They saw Thunder yesterday and said, we got to go. They stole our flow bar for bar, word for word. They said, we got to go. There we go. They're back, and they start beating up La Resistance. The fans are cheering because Team Slaughter, former tag team champions, are back.
Oh, yeah.
And we move on. It's our main event tonight, Chad. It's Chris Daniels, Latin Lover, in our... it's a main event.
In singles action.
And in a 91, Latin Lover gets the win again, defense number 2 of the United States Championship. Latin Lover, he said it in the promo, man. His career has taken to a new level since the Guerrero Dojo.
Yeah, he had to get rid of the dead weight. He's been able to flourish.
Is it because...
Oh, no.
And that's the end of the show here. Oh, my God, the best show of the night, baby.
Wow, 92 is...
the best show. Oh, there was a lot of blue then that show.
There was a lot of blue.
There was a lot of blue then that show. So I'll take it. A lot of blue to begin it, too.
Yeah.
Hey, this is just how you book shows, brother.
It's a good show.
I mean, but to be fair, you're running gosh darn Matt Sydal and Christian York right now. You're not expected to win right now. Yeah. The worst match of the night.
Evan Courageous as one of my tough enough coaches.
Yeah, I gotta look at your roster to see who else could have been, because Evan Courageous is a. Well, we're gonna go down his wins loss and see when the last time he actually wrestled.
Yeah.
We'll see you for week 2.